On today's show, we will discuss how AI can improve sustainability and help tackle global environmental challenges. I'm Daniel,
Ah, Matheus.
and this is the Human AI Experience. We'll be right back.
Hi, Daniel. Today I was reading a report from PwC, and then they were talking how AI will improve the GDP and how actually AI could fight global warming, or diminish the impact, of general greenhouse emissions. And I will start just like making a little bit of context. So global warming already causing a lot of significant problems. We have droughts and floods all over the world. So PwC states that AI environmental applications could add $5 trillion in the global economy by 2030, and it can help reduce in 40% the greenhouse gas emissions. So, and AI can also create 38 million new jobs globally speaking, offering more skilled occupations, for this. So it's an impressive numbers and a really optimistic vision of PwC. And as they're consulting, I kind of agree with their perspective. So they work with many companies. So I think it's a good projection.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways, right? The same way we discussed last episode, that there is a huge impact. There's also, you can also use it for good, let's say. So I guess they are just highlighting that if it used properly to actually look into global issues, right, in regards to sustainability or environmental impact, you can also try to apply that to find solutions and think outside the box, basically, like and power that by AI.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it does make sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, and I think it's nice that the way that they are thinking about how can we use it to fight and to arrange that is really interesting.
So does the report say how exactly they're thinking AI can help mitigate that?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point because AI, in their perspective, AI can turn raw data into useful information. So all these things that we talk, how can we like read plenty of data and transform into something useful, optimizing complex systems. So improving like codes or even complex issues into simple stuff, improving predictions and speeding up scientific discoveries. We have some examples that through the use of AI, doctors are analyzing exams. And for example, there's a AI that it predicts like breast cancer in one person like 5 years before it developed. So it's quite impressive how we can support this. So what they are predicting, the PwC, they talk about the sustainable goals that the United Nations has, for 2030, and we have nowadays 70 goals and many sub goals or targets, to be reached. And PwC says that from all of these goals, we can improve 134 targets through the use of AI. I think they have 170, so only 36 that will not be improved by AI. So that's a really impressive number.
Okay, quite a widespread way of tackling it, right? So if it's almost using them all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So AI can help to monitor environmental data effectively, like aiding decision making and tracking climate impacts. So for example, if we see satellite images from deforestation, for example, the Amazon forest, you can keep track of the how they're cutting the trees. So how can we fight effectively, to decision making. I don't know.
Yeah, just bring more prediction to the table, right?
Yeah,
So just be better at predicting, and this is actually what AI can excel, is bringing this predictive models where you can use probability to almost guess it what's going to happen, and
yeah,
then try to act before it happens.
yeah. That's a really good way of using it. And then the other usage that they see as a potential is like AI can encourage business to take and be more sustainable, in their decisions, and improving, for example, efficiency in resources like energy and use of materials. So that's a good way of using AI. And they are hoping that AI can promote responsible consumer behavior, like by providing more information, about where this things coming from, and raising awareness of sustainable consumption.
I
Uh,
wonder what would happen if you tell AI to think about how AI can be more energy,
Friendly.
uh, yeah, energy consumption friendly.
Yeah, that's a paradox then.
It's gonna go in circles and it's gonna explode.
Yeah. And then the last point that they highlight in this report is that AI can strengthen environmental laws and governance through better regulation. So I think AI can help us to create the regulations to control AI. So there's a kind of this paradox that we were mentioning. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it can be beneficial.
So to help transform these sustainable goals, there's a video in this EU article that I have read where a guy called like David Ronick, he highlights like four main usages of this technology now. So the first usage, then the example that he gave us, so how AI can help us to be more sustainable, is by the use of satellite imagery to track emissions in deforestation. So I think I already mentioned a little bit about that. The second usage is reducing energy use in buildings and transportation. For example, there is a new technology called um, digital twins that you copy, buildings digitally. So you put a lot of trackers, around the materials. So, for example, you can put a lot of sensors around the building, so you can keep track of this while it's happening. For example, if it heats up by the sun, or what kind of how the materials are reacting.
So digital twins.
Yeah,
This digital copy is in a virtual world where you can simulate different things, right? That's how it works. So
exactly.
basically, you put those trackers around, and then you can simulate the impact of the sun, the wind, the storms, like etc. And then you can get the data
Yeah,
that, and then you can predict, or you can better build these things when you were making a plan, or you like planning.
exactly. That's important because nowadays, what we have, the scenario that we project the future, and the usage of the beauty. So, for example, if you have a life cycle analysis where you analyze where the sources of every material come from, and then you combine it together, to simulate how the building is made, and what is the impact for the usage and for the end of the life of this building. Now we can keep track of these things while it's happening, so you can keep track of everything that's happening in the building through the sensors, and measuring, the, as you said, like the emissions, how the it's reacting to many different natural factors. So the things that around this data, we can be more responsible for the future. We can choose better materials, how these materials are reacting towards the climate change. And then the third things that he highlighted is that It's possible to predict solar power generation and agriculture yields. So for example, you can they can use drones, for example, to control the yields and the fields, that you're planting. And I saw a new technology from Sweden that you can actually scan with your phone. There's an app in your phone that these reforestation regions. You can use it to track the growth of the trees. So which just scanning with your phone, you keep track when you can cut it, these trees, or when you need to put more water or to take care of these plants. So it's a really cool app.
What is the name of the app? Do you know?
So the name of the app is Katan. It's like a Swedish based company, and they are exporting the app like all over the world. So the technology is kind of using AI, to recognize into the patterns and the standards of the whole trees and the quality of the reforestation. And then the fourth point is like speeding up the design of better batteries and solar cells. You know that nowadays the best solar cell that we have, or the photovoltaic panels, it only generates 28% of the energy that hits hits the panel. That's quite interesting, isn't it? So it's less than 30% actually.
Oh, what a waste! I didn't know. I have no idea. I thought it was a lot more efficient than that.
Yeah, that's something that it can definitely be improved. So this is something that they are predicting that AI might help in this process, or how to like reorganize the efficiency of these panels.
Yeah, to help evolve the technology that actually builds those, or trying to help making it more efficient, right? Like capture more of the solar energy.
Yeah, and then coming back to the PwC report, they have like four goals actually. They say like this is the AI will revolutionize these things. So the first point is like AI roles. AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare, farming, education, and transport by using data. We always talk about data. Data is the key of AI, I think. So using the whole data that we have available to solve problems and improve efficiency. So it makes a lot of sense. Then AI can generate like economic and environmental benefits. So it can increase the GDP to from 3 to 4%, and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 4% by 2030. This is the need for complementary technologies. AI works best with other technologies like IoT or Internet of Things, robots, and electrical vehicles. So these technologies can be improved by AI. So the fourth point and the last one that they consider is like a fair distribution of benefits. So AI should spread equally, like with policies in all the regions, all over the world. It should be kind of the same, to do not unbalance or like create this unbalancing of technology. So one country is like running super fast and then increasing a lot. So the idea is to have a balance in all over the world with this technology and automation. And just to finalize it, like they have some key recommendations that I think that are important to mention. So build awareness and partnerships. So collaborate among tech industries and experts, scientists, civil society, and the governments to enhance and create a better AI. Promote responsible AI, so ensure that AI development considers societal and environmental impacts. I think that's really important. Improve digital infrastructure, invest in AI tools, data, and supporting technologies. Provide training, so upskill and reskill workers to adapt to AI-driven changes. I think we have talked about that in a previous episode. So if you wanna see our opinions, look at the other episode. And encourage research and development. So support R&D from early stages to large scale application. So I think that's important to always consider R&D in the companies to study and to improve the technology. So I think it's important to have a R&D in any company, to develop the AIs and train people. So I think that's a really important key recommendation. So just to wrap up, AI has a immense potential to drive sustainability and to fight climate change. So it's not just about technology, but how we chose to apply it. So that's important. And collaboration is a key in all these studies and everything that I have read. The government, business, and individuals, they must work like together around AI. And I think with that we can power up and fight for a sustainable future. And I hope we can embrace AI as a tool for positive change and ensure like it will lead us towards like a greener and more sustainable world.
These insights into what the biggest consultant companies in the world are like reporting and exploring and researching what is actually the true impact of these new technologies, right? So, and how this can affect for bad or worse our world today. So it's really interesting to see where what they are uncovering and get some ideas into or get some insights into the numbers.
Yeah, and I think it's important because we always talk about how AI is using energy and how being impactful, but it's good to look at to the other side. How can we use as a tool to fight that back? To create a positive, sustainable impact. Not only generate like carbon emissions. So I think it's important to see a different perspective on how can we improve and how can we use this, as we are always talking. We always think about AI as a potential to put us in a different level. So that's what I envision like for the future.
Awesome. We reached the end of our episode. If you're interested in how AI is evolving and how you can introduce it in your life or your work, subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast service and follow us for more. If you have any questions for us, you can reach out to us at hello@humanaixp.com or connect with us on Instagram at humanaixp. Thanks for listening and see you next week.